what's up?
What do you want to do today?
There go my man right there. What's up, buddy?
What's
going on?
What we doing today?
Like we normally do.
Alright.
Shot about 3-4 rounds. Hit the bag and reflex bag, speed bag, reflex bag.
Alright, so total 10 or 12. You know, it's fun, sparring Canelo. Trying to pick his brain. He got like 70 fights in. Turned pro at 15. So I was picking his brain, having fun, and sharpening my tools, That's about it, In the words of my homie, he gonna say, he said, don't mind the kids, you gotta give him a pass. This kid can't get a pass. He gotta pay.
As training camp intensifies, Jaron Ennis begins sharpening every part of his game ahead of a major showdown with Xander Zayas. Meanwhile, his coach views learning every aspect of boxing as part of building a complete understanding of the sport beyond just competing in the ring. Even outside of training, the focus remains on constantly improving knowledge, instincts, and overall development.
I think that's just a part of him wanting to learn every aspect of his craft. As soon as he got through training, he was training other guys. That's similar to a basketball player. We play basketball our whole life as kids, and the first job that we look for, or most guys want to do, is coach. Even with rappers. Rappers start off just rapping. Next thing you know, they're producing, making their own beats. So it's just a part of perfecting your craft.
At the same time, Roy Jones Jr. explains he originally wanted to see Ennis tested against Ortiz before a potential clash with Zayas developed. However, Jones views Zayas as an even more difficult challenge because of his versatility, range, body punching, and ability to fight effectively at different distances while showing unusual maturity for his age.
Initial thoughts were, I really wanted to see Boots tested by another fighter beforehand. I wanted to see him fight Virgil Ortiz first because those...
At 54?
Yes, because those two guys were kind of on a collision course. However, I think Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz had some issues. So now Boots went to the next best thing, which is even better than Virgil Ortiz. He went to Xander Zayas. But Xander Zayas is a very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age.
Continuing the discussion, Timothy Bradley believes Ennis stands above the rest of the division because of his natural talent and current physical prime. Bradley argues Ennis is already entering his peak years, while Zayas still needs time to fully develop physically and mentally at the elite level.
At 60-40, I think Boots is just, I think he's more talented. I think he's more talented out of the bunch, and I think that Boots right now is right in the midst of his prime. So, when you start hitting that 26, 27, 28 range, man, Xander still, even though his body looks like he's physically mature, right, he's not, you know what I mean? Like, he still has 3 to 4 years before he really gets to his full capacity and full man strength. I say around 26, 27-ish. So Boots is just, I think he's right in the midst of his prime.
Furthermore, Bradley argues Zayas carries himself with unusual maturity and professionalism for a young fighter, both inside and outside the ring. Bradley explains, Zayas has always shown confidence when discussing top names in the division, while also praising his advanced boxing instincts and understanding of the sport.
He was young as hell, but the way he handles himself outside the ring, he's always handled himself as a professional, and it's like he's been here before. It's like nothing fazed him. so it doesn't surprise me that he's like, I want Boots, he's always said that he wanted to fight Boots. He's always said and told me that he's always wanted to fight Virgil Ortiz. He said he's like, I'll beat, Fedora. He said that too. He was like, I'll beat Fedora. I'll beat him right now, But I feel like from a talent standpoint, and he is talented as well. Xander has a really boxing high IQ. He does. And you can tell not only in the ring, but you can tell outside, even when he does commentary. He's an extremely smart kid.
Adding another perspective, Ronnie Shields expects a fight between Ennis and Zayas to be a high-level matchup because both fighters bring elite skill sets and versatility into the ring. Shields gives Ennis a slight edge because of his experience against stronger competition, but still warns that Zayas has the talent to pull off an upset on the right night.
You know what? This is going to be a great fight. I mean, really and truly, it's going to be a great fight. Boots has all the skills in the world. He can fight orthodox or southpaw. But Xander can really fight. I mean, this guy is not world champion for nothing. He's a world champion for a reason. And, and I know Boots is not going to take this lightly. But, I give the edge to Boots just because of the guys he's fought already. But you can't close your eyes on Xander because this kid can really go. And, if you catch him on a good night, he can upset Boots.
Expanding his thoughts, Shields suggests Ennis must remain disciplined and mentally grounded heading into a fight with Zayas despite the confidence surrounding him. Shields explains Zayas enters the matchup with less pressure and far more to gain, making him a dangerous opponent if Ennis loses focus or starts feeling untouchable.
Times you start believing that you're invincible. And unless you keep grounded, then you don't know what's in the guy's head until he gets in that ring, and then you see what's going on. So, so we just got to wait and see on this one. I mean, because, Xander has nothing to lose. He has everything to gain, although he's the champion of the world. So as may sound ridiculous, but that's the way it is for him in this fight.
Go ahead.
But, I just think that, that Boots has to stay grounded and just keep doing things that got him to where he is.
On the other hand, Andre Ward questions whether Ennis's defensive discipline will consistently hold up against elite opposition despite his skill level. Ward suggests that certain habits in Ennis's style could become a factor against a sharp, composed fighter like Zayas.
Had his way so much that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots, and I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy. What if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for both guys. But if it is the right time for Xander and he's able to pull this off and beat Boots on points or somehow hurt Boots and stop Boots and put on a great performance, Puerto Rico has their next great start.
Shifting the focus toward experience, Greg Hackett gives Ennis a clear edge over Zayas because of the difference in experience between them at this stage of their careers. Hackett explains Zayas is still adjusting to a higher level of competition despite his rapid rise, while also respecting his willingness to take on a major challenge early in his run as champion.
Well, I got it like an 80-20 situation.
80-20.
Yeah, I got it like an 80-20 because it's just like Xander is. Well, see, what people fail to realize, Xander turned pro as a kid. He was still a teen. Yeah, he was still a teenager. So it's like a lot of those fights early is for him to do exactly what he was doing, just working on shit. But now it's like, all right, you stepping it up, you champion. But now it's like, oh shit, we got to fight. Now we talking about a fight. You know what I mean? So. I don't know, man. I think it's just his inexperience as far as fights like this. This is a hell of a fight to be in after becoming unified champion. But I respect Xander on a whole different type of level because A lot of guys wouldn't have taken this.
At the same time, Hackett suggests that both fighters enter the matchup with different forms of motivation, driving them forward. Hackett explains Zayas is still adjusting to the success and attention that came quickly in his career, while Ennis sees this fight as the kind of challenge he has wanted for a long time.
The reason I think this is going to be a great fight, because Xander feels like, listen, I have to show y'all that I can fight. You feel like the people not on your side all the way, and you got something to prove, that can fuel you. That can fuel you in a good way. And I feel like that's what Xander feel like. But at the same time, I feel like Xander feels like he already made it. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at him for that, because to be undisputed, not undisputed, unified. To be unified champion at 54 so fast. It happened for him kind of fast. You know what I'm saying? I can understand the high that he's on. You know what I mean? And Boots, on the other hand, this is what he's been looking for. He's been looking for a guy that everybody say is a guy for him to be fighting.
From a stylistic standpoint, Raul Marquez argues Zayas cannot rely on technical boxing alone against Ennis because of the difference in speed, timing, and ring control. Marquez believes Zayas must stay aggressive, make the fight physically demanding, and constantly force Ennis out of his comfort zone to have success.
Well, I don't think you're gonna outbox Boots.
No.
You're not gonna outbox
So
him.
forget that plan.
You gotta have that speed, and I don't think he's got the speed, to outgun someone like Boots. I think he's got to apply constant pressure, attack at angles. You got to rough him up. It's got to be an ugly fight. Make it an ugly fight. You got to push him back. I don't care, elbows, whatever it takes. Whatever the referee doesn't see, it's boxing. If the referee doesn't see it, then it's legal. You got to Boots. Especially if you let him think. If you let him think, he's gonna outsmart you. So you got to be on his chest. I'm not talking about the Mexican pressure, that the Mexican style fighter.
Yeah.
Intelligent pressure. Okay. Be responsible with your defense. Work the body. Hit him anywhere. Hit him on the arms. Hit him right here on the waist. Try to wear him down. Just suffocate him. Try to get him off that game plan that he has. Don't allow Boots to think too.
Moreover, as the debate continues to heat up, Afe Oberlton gives Ennis the advantage against Zayas because of the talent and ability he has already shown at the highest level. Oberlton also views Ennis's overall experience and confidence as major factors working in his favor.
I never seen Xander fight. I gotta give credit where it's due. In the boxing world, I feel like Jaron is a tremendous talent. He has the talent that goes to show, and I just feel like, him being from Philadelphia, I feel like he's going to take the cake.
Analyzing the matchup, Coach Breadman views Ennis as the more complete fighter because of the natural attributes and abilities he brings into the ring. Breadman also explains that a fighter leaning more on structure and technique does not automatically place him above a more naturally versatile opponent.
From what I see, Boots has every physical advantage, every talent way, and every skill advantage. I know y'all may think, sometimes we say that the less talented fighter has the better fundamentals, just because he's less talented, so he has to rely on his fundamentals more. That doesn't mean that he has the best fundamentals because he's less talented. That just means he has to rely on.
Continuing his thoughts, Coach Breadman argues Ennis' technical ability is often overlooked because of how explosive and naturally gifted he is inside the ring. Breadman also questions whether Zayas' disciplined approach and technical structure will be enough to affect the outcome of the fight.
And I know you might think that Xander fundamentals is better than Boots. I don't think Xander fundamentals is better than Boots. I think Boots is so electric and so electrifying and so talented is that his fundamentals get overlooked. And I don't really think that those fundamentals that Xander has is going to make a difference in this fight.
On the other side, Andre Rosier gives Ennis a strong advantage because of the complete skill set and development he has shown over the years. Rosier points to Ennis's hand speed, versatility, punching ability, and adaptability as qualities that could make the matchup extremely difficult for Zayas despite the respect he has for the young champion.
Listen, I've been in camp with Boots. I've seen him since he was a young man. He's just progressed amazingly. He has fast hands. He has wonderful angles. He's ambidextrous. He can punch. It's a lot to ask anyone to supersede, and I don't see that happening. I think it's just a bit too much, and I want to see what Xander brings to the table, because he's a wonderful young man, and I like him a lot, but boxing is boxing. I have to call it like it.
Meanwhile, Coach Reg questions whether Zaz is experienced enough at this stage of his development to take on a fighter like Ennis. Reg acknowledges Zaz's growth and success as a young champion, but still warns that Ennis has the kind of ability and power capable of changing a fighter's career trajectory.
I just think that Xander don't know enough. Yeah. To take a fight like this. I mean, granted, we get in this game, you in this game to be the best. But I don't think he's ready for a fight like this. I mean, Xander's good, he can fight, but he's still a kid, he's still a baby. Still in learning stages right now.
Unified champion though, right?
He is.
Big kid. Seems like he's getting better each and every fight.
And I agree, but boots and careers.
As the anticipation continues building, Bozy Ennis expects a competitive and entertaining fight between Ennis and Zaz as the tension around the matchup continues to rise. Bozy also suggests the growing confidence and talk from Zaz's side will eventually need to be matched once both fighters step into the ring.
So, changing trainers? Yes, that do play a good part, you know what I mean? Because Whitcomb had him using that jab like he's supposed to, brilliant. You know what I mean? And Malik was doing a pretty good job too. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And then he done what he wanted to do. Really, what he wanted to do, he done it.
Oh, okay.
He changed his, he didn't change up. He the one changed up. They tell him to do certain things, he do what he wanted to do. So, you know what I mean? You can't change a fighter like that.
Are those the hardest kind of fighters to train? Ones that already make up in their mind?
Oh, yeah, it's hard, man. When they go back to the old thing they've been doing. He's been doing that for years. He did that in amateurs. There was no change. I think Brilliant was the best one for him at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you got a huge fight, another unification fight.
Right.
New division.
Right.
June 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Your son, Boots.
Right.
Xander Zayas.
Right.
How you feeling about that?
That's a good fight, man. Xander, I always liked the Xander anyway. You know what I mean? But now he ain't talking a lot of smack now. Now he want to back that. He have to back that up now. You know what I mean? We mellow. We just laid back. Keep on talking. You know what I mean? Keep on building the fight. You know what I mean? But it should be a good fight.
Still, Paulie Malignaggi admits he was surprised to see Zia step into a fight of this magnitude so early in his career despite viewing him as a fearless and highly marketable fighter. Malignaggi also suggests the timing of the matchup may benefit Ennis more, while still giving both fighters credit for making the fight happen.
I'm surprised they put in Xander that early. Listen, Xander will fight anybody. He's that kind of fighter. Super marketable fighter, so that's why I was surprised that they're taking this chance with him a little early. If he wins, he's a megastar. Ennis is one of the best fighters in the sport today. This is a fight I think both of them need, but I think Ennis needed it more because Ennis is a little older. With Zayas, you had time to wait on this kind of risk.
Continuing the debate, Mickey Bay expects the early rounds between Ennis and Zaz to be competitive before the momentum gradually shifts. He believes Ennis's power and shot selection could eventually break Zaz down and change the direction of the fight as it progresses.
I think at the beginning it's going to be hot. Maybe the first 3-4 rounds is going to be Xander, it's going to look probably like it's going to be a competitive fight, but I think Boots going to end up hurting him to the body or or he going to end up landing something, I think, and hurting Xander, and then the fight going to change, and I honestly think he probably finished.
Moreover, Bay gives Ennis the edge because of his experience and ability to capitalize once he hurts an opponent. Bay still expects Zaz to respond with toughness and a willingness to exchange if the fight becomes physical.
I think it's the experience and him just knowing how to finish guys. Like Boots, if he hurts you, he usually know how to get you up out of there. I think that Xander is a dog, and I think that he's gonna firefight with him.
The attention now turns toward a fight that could reveal a lot about both fighters at this stage of their careers. Jaron Ennis enters the matchup with the experience, athleticism, and complete skill set many believe place him among boxing's elite, while Xander Zayas steps into the biggest test of his career, carrying the confidence and momentum of a rapidly rising champion. Once the opening bell rings, timing, composure, pressure, and ring IQ could become the deciding factors. For Ennis, this is another chance to strengthen his position at the top of the sport. For Zayas, this is the type of opportunity that can completely elevate his career. But who leaves the ring with the stronger statement when the fight is over? Let us know your prediction in the comments below, and make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing analysis and fight coverage.